What's up, athletes? Coach Eric here with Eat, Train, Be, Hoy, Be. And you probably think this video is about you, but it's not. It could be, or it could be something worth sharing to someone it is about. So check it out. All right, athletes, Coach Eric here in the gym today at Fairwinds CrossFit in the United States of America, and we are talking about foundations. Good time to start talking about foundations because the next foundations class starts a week from tomorrow, Monday. Why foundations? Well, this may not be about you. You may have already gone through foundations. You may have been doing CrossFit for a few years, and you're like, well, what do I even need to know about foundations? Maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this is for that person that you've been trying to get into the gym for a long time, and they're nervous, or they just don't think that you're going to know what they're doing, and they're just like, I don't even know. You've been telling you about like, oh, but Coach Eric and Coach Jack and Coach Amy and Coach Shelley and Coach Mary and Coach Harry Ann out in San Diego, and all these coaches are so amazing, but they just need to come try it. And what a great place to start than foundations. Let me tell you why. When I started CrossFit, I was looking into it for like a year, almost 2 years. I saw the website and I was looking on there all the time. I had some friends out in Colorado that did it themselves. And when I tried the workouts myself, it was a mess. I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm not a big like, watch YouTube and do it, even though we're watching YouTube right now. And what I ended up doing was there was a gym across the street from where I worked, and I decided to go in and try it. And it was great. I got in there and I went through my introductory class, and they said, hey, awesome. You dig it, stick around, start coming to class, pick any class, start coming, stand in the back, kind of watch what other people are doing. Don't worry, as a coach, it's gonna be made sure that you get the attention that you need, any scales, modifications that you may need, you're in good hands. The classes are small and manageable, all that good stuff. And it was great, and it worked out wonderfully for me, and I stuck around, obviously, because several years later, I own this place with Jack. But that doesn't work for everyone, and actually what I found later is that isn't actually working for most people. What I found after I started coaching and running introductory classes myself was that model, people came in, and more often than not, they came in and they stuck around for a little bit. They got through the first couple months and eventually made their way out. And what kind of the general consensus was, there was this gap that they always felt like that they missed something in the beginning, and they were always having trouble catching up later on. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't strong enough, or they didn't have a pull-up yet, or they were slower. It was just there was some almost undefinable like gap in understanding and comfort. And so decided to start running a foundations class. And I started doing that at CrossFit Old Bay. Actually, Coach Jack got started coaching in Annapolis, I think doing that as well. And what we have found is that foundations class, even if you walk out of there not remembering a thing, not remembering what a squat is or a snatch is, or different scales for pull-ups, it's totally cool. What you get is 4 classes with me or with a coach, very like small group, no more than 5. It's possible you're the only one in there as well, to just get acclimated, to just get to understanding what the flow of a class looks like from start to finish. You get some familiarity with the 9 foundational movements, the squat, the front squat, the overhead squat, the strict press, push jerk, deadlift, sumo deadlift, high pull, med ball clean. If you don't remember any of those, it's totally cool. What we have developed though over those 4 classes is just a basic general understanding, general knowledge, so that when it does show up on the whiteboard one day, maybe you don't remember what it is, but something sounds familiar. And the flow of the class is familiar. You come in, you get warmed up. We talk about the workout, you get warmed up. We practice some skills. We talk about the workout. We go through the workout, we cool off, we stretch out, we go home. We distance high five these days. And that's where we found that actually when we run that class and when people go through that class, they tend to stick around for much longer. A lot of great things that have come out of the foundations class is literally people just saying it was a perfect place to just get a general sense of what's expected in a class, and that helped bridge a big gap than just jumping into a class with anywhere from like 3 to 8 to 10 people that already kind of know what they're doing. And so if you get out of the foundations class, you jump into your first regular general population class, and you know where to park, you know where to grab a foam roller, and you know who the coach is, you're off to a great start. And that little bit does make a big difference in just being comfortable in this thing that already is kind of uncomfortable. And so this week, I've talked to a few different people about it. We have a couple people ready to go. I even actually talked to my brother-in-law, who's never done CrossFit before. You actually may have met him on Monday. He came and joined a class. He lives down in Georgia, and he's already reached out to a gym down there to talk about CrossFit, because he's ready to get going too. And so sometimes that's all it takes, is that little conversation or sending a video with a very wonderfully handsome, rugged coach, just talking about how this foundations class is just a wonderful jump off point in an introduction to CrossFit. And so with that, that's my challenge. If you have a person that you know you've wanted to get into this CrossFit thing because it's fun, because it's a great community, or because you see it change your life in ways that you never thought it would, and it's important for you to share that with somebody, here's a great place to start. Foundations class, it's 4 classes, Monday and Wednesday, the first 2 weeks of the month, and then after that, it's try any class that fits your schedule for the rest of the month with a little bit of extra guidance here and there from your coaches. It's 1 month. It's 1 month out of your life to try this thing, and if you don't like it and if it's not for you, you move on. You didn't waste any time. If anything, maybe you got a little bit fitter at the end of it. And so this is what I'm looking for, is people to be willing to reach out and talk to that person that has been thinking about doing this and just has not got their foot in the door. Here's your foot in the door. The foundations class, it's where everyone should start. I'm going to even give a shout out to Bryant Yee, who's not going to be with us much longer, about to move to Japan. But Bryant had done CrossFit before he got here, and he still went through the foundations class because he felt like it was important for him to know and understand how this gym may do things differently from another gym, or have maybe there's something that he didn't learn in his time doing it himself and did it here. And he also supported his wonderful wife, Caroline, in the process too. They both graduated foundations together. So make sure you give this a chance. Talk to your friends, send them our way. Foundations, that's my Eat, Train, Be Hoipy this week. Try this new thing and see what it does for you, see what it does for your friends, see what it does for your life. Eat, Train, Be Hoipy. See you on the creek.